Well, that's unfortunate. I just realized that we weren't recording. When I did the screenshot back at the portal, it kind of cut things off, which is okay because we didn't go through the portal. We took a screenshot of the planet's address for later use, and I didn't want to go through the portal because, hey, look, a predator. Let's change this to Boltcaster. Pop a cap at his ass. Stop running around in circles. Let's scan him. Oh, we've already scanned him. Eats partially digested meat. I'm not partially digested. I'm just pleasantly plump. So, I'm not even going to go back to the portal for right now. We're just going to let it be. We've been running around looking for some more words in the meantime, because that's a little bit more important. Going through the portal would obviously take us someplace that I'm just not really prepared to go at the moment. We're only on our second system, and as I was saying before I realized I had messed up my recording, was that we haven't even gone back to see our scientist, which is what we need to do. So we are going to go get this last artifact, and I'm going to try not to scroll brain too much more. I'm going to load up our oxygen. Learn the Korvax word for impossible. Oh, we have another predator coming. Where'd this little guy go? Make sure we scanned him before. We did. Stalk spray for days. He's been following us. Saw some creatures, but there's water over here, so I know they are actually in the water, and it's something we haven't done yet. Haven't taken you guys swimming. So what we're going to do is we're going to run. We're going to melee and shoot on out here into the water. Yeah, that was kind of cool. This water is kind of shallow. It's actually very, very shallow. So I'm kind of surprised that we saw anything. Now we're going to float to the surface, which is kind of annoying. And it's kind of a figure out a way to stay below. Let's scan this crab running away from us. He likes hydrothermal minerals. And there are some fish in the background. Look kind of like a remora with big fins. They nibble at moss. Ooh, what is that? That likes hydrothermal minerals as well. And this big squiddy looking thing back here likes plankton. So not a one of these is predatory. We're going to scan the flora. And again, I forgot to look at the amount of units we got for the critters. And we've been underwater for a little while, so let's use our jetpack and get back above the surface. Get our oxygen replenishing. Now there are modules that will give us a supplementary oxygen and draw directly from the water, which is kind of cool. And there's ones that do better jets so that our jetpack works underwater. Also super cool. There's an artifact we're going to go get. Again, not trying to scroll brain too much, but when you have a planet like this that has a lot of these artifacts, it's best to get them, especially since I kind of messed up and didn't have any copper on me when we went to the space station. Which also reminds me I should probably find some copper, because I think we turned everything into chromatic metal. I think we should find some copper and mine that real quick so that next time we do go, we can talk to the Corvaxians and get some words. So we have the Corvaxian word for low. I'm going to reload the Boltcaster. Check to make sure we have those flying critters. We do. We haven't scanned the planet in a little while, so we're a little bit behind the times. There's an armored clam. We'll teach you about those later. We're not going to do those in the water just yet. And it's a happy friendly critter. There's a yellow crystal. We're going to go get those. Those are sodium that required the advanced mining laser before, which now that we have, we're going to put to use. A little bit of squirrel brain. Ooh. Still on the Boltcaster. Sodium nitrate. Always a good thing to have. Charge up our hazard protection with it, which we don't need on this planet, but we did need on the first two actually, and we'll need it when we get home. So here's what I'm also thinking. This planet's been very good to us, been pretty nice, and I'm thinking of building a secondary base here. So while we're right here, what I want to do is scan for mineral deposits. There's a sodium. We are seriously lacking in mineral deposits. There's copper. And a tree I haven't scanned. Let's scan that real quick. So we're going to go ahead and tag that copper deposit and make a mad dash. Didn't quite make it. But we're going to make a mad dash over here for this copper deposit and take a look around. Again, this blissful weather is surprising to find, especially so early in the game. Again, lucky charms, guys. Hey, we've traveled 20 clicks on foot. Not bad, not bad at all. And like I said, you know, it's fairly uncommon to find a really nice planet like this, this fast. Normally when I was playing my other games, when I found planets like this, I found plenty of them. The sheer number of predators was almost overpowering, especially early on in the game, where you don't have a lot of shields and health, and they basically whack the crap out of you, or every time you defend yourself from them, you would get the sentinels smack the crap out of you in return for it, which really sucked. But that's part of the joy of a procedurally generated game system. You never know. Look at the size of this copper deposit. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so let's go ahead, whip out our terrain manipulator, drop down the size of our bubble to the smallest possible, and we're going to mine up some copper. And I'll wax philosophic on the state of the planets while we do it. Like I said, it's been very refreshing. I had one planet where the first time I went out there, I thought I had found my Eden. I had done some research online. I knew that the planets out there actually did exist. Planets that have no real predators, no real downside. You know, they're Eden planets. They are few and far between that, you know, the people that do find them, you tend to just stick with them and build up your mega base on those or whatever. And I thought I found one, and I go into the tree line, and what looked like these fuzzy velociraptors jumped out and killed me. And when I respawned, I came back, got all my inventory back, and another one jumped out and killed me. And that's basically how my day went. I got away from that area, got away from that particular predator, and another one came out and killed me. And then another one, and another one. And I finally got to the point where I could defend myself from the predators, and when I did, the sentinels would basically kick my butt. Because I'd be sitting there fighting off these predators for a little while and be low on health, but I would survive. And then the sentinels would be coming out of nowhere. Or I would survive the sentinels. And then, of course, the continuation of the sentinels comes out. What you haven't seen so far on here is that once you beat that first sentinel, 2 more of them come, and then after that, 2 more of them, and a quad comes, the walker. So it just continues to escalate, and then after that, the big walker comes in. Ooh, that's all sorts of fun, especially early on. The big guys, they hurt the walkers. So that is a decent chunk of copper taken out. Let's go ahead and drop our portable refiner down, and we're going to fill that up. We're going to go ahead and fill this up with copper right off the bat and get the chromatic metal. Honestly, I've forgotten what we needed the chromatic metal for. It wasn't on the... Got all our tech. We wanted to get copper for the Corvax, so let's go ahead and grab some more of that. Got a couple more minutes left in this video, so we'll continue to process that chromatic metal, which I just remembered what that's for. That is for a base computer, because I've decided we're going to put a secondary base here. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue to mine this up so that we have some copper to buy off Corvaxian words when we get back to the space station. So, we're basically just shaving off the top. Now, you could be digging straight down, but I try and top shave as many of the big ones as I can, because if I don't use this, later on down the road, there is a device called an autonomous mining unit, and I like having a flat surface to possibly put them on. And this base might be around long enough to use those. Not exactly sure, but we shall see. Okay, we have 125 chromatic metal. Go ahead and dump that into our inventory. And then we're going to go ahead and make a base computer. Set that way over here. I hear a lot of ships. That tends to make me think we are nearby a trading post. But that's where we're going to set it off for the evening for this episode. If you liked what you saw, please give me a big old thumbs up down below. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to get notifications on future episodes. I'll be doing a few more of these. So until next time, fly safe.